Good morning, my colleague and friend. May I introduce myself? My name is Amphol Sengphachanh, Deputy Director of WHSO Vat Phou, Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, Lao PDR. I would like to present you about the Hindu art in Laos. According to limit of time, I will give you very briefly information. So I would like to start from the Hindu influence in Laos and in Southeast Asia. As you know, the Indian state opened the trade route to Southeast Asia around 200 before Christian era, and in the same time Hindu Buddhism influence came along together. And then the early state of Hinduism involved in the site. The first state is Funan. The first of this Indianized state to achieve widespread of importance was the Kingdom of Funan, founded in the 1st century Christian era in what is now Cambodian and southern part of Vietnam. And it was succeeded by another Hindu state, Chela, which founded around mid of 5th century and late until 9th century. Referring to the inscription of King Tevanika, the founder of a dynasty, established capital city named Srethapura, located in the Mekong River bank, 2 kilometers to the east side of Wat Phou temple complex. And later on, the king Mahentavaraman or Chittasena moved the capital city to the Sambophaikuk, some 240 kilometers to the south, where present day is Cambodia. And then the Hinduism in Laos. Lao PDR has a long, rich and splendid cultural heritage, which reflected its civilization and its national history inherited from millennia. Chela Kingdom occupied territory of Laos, Thailand, and Cambodia. The center of kingdom where capital city located was in the southern part of Lao PDR, where Lingka Pravata, or the Sacred Mountain, and the Wat Phou temple complex located. And there, numerous Hinduism archaeological sites were found in present day of Laos, mainly in the southern part. And among them, there are more than 100 of major sites, and the most significant one is Wat Phou temple complex, the site where I am working now. However, in present day, the Hindu religion doesn't exist in Laos anymore, but the influence, the Hindu influence, could still be seen in general, such as in architectural field, fine art, and as well as living art. And then Hindu art in Wat Phou temple complex. So Wat Phou temple complex is located on the western bank of Mekong River in Champasak district, southern part of Lao PDR, 750 kilometers southeast from Vientiane capital city. The total inscribed area is 39,000 hectares. And I want to go back to the Champasak cultural landscape, including the Wat Phou Temple complex. Is one of the most important sites of the Great Khmer Empire. It exhibits some of the earliest known evidence of urbanism in Southeast Asia. It is an outstanding example of the integration of symbolic landscape of the great spiritual significance to the natural surrounding. The complex is the focal point of a sophisticated cultural landscape centered on the Champasak plain, taking in the Phukao mountain or Lingkha Bravata mountain to the west and the bank of Mekong River to the east. And between the mountain and river, there are temples, shrine, water tank, water channel, quarry, and historic field system, and ancient road, and some other settlement sites, including Sretapura, one of the earliest known urbanism in Southeast Asia. And this area is holy place. Wat Phou Temple complex is the remarkable well-preserved landscape, reflecting more than 1,000 of years of development from the 3rd to 15th century, where many civil work and artifacts has been planted. Using east-west axis from riverbank to mountain top to set out geometrical pattern of a temple. The temple were contrived to express the Hindu version of relationship between nature and humanity. And this is an area view restitution drawing made by French architect Henri Parmentier, presenting an axial plan architecture laying on mountain terrace down to the plain below. And including in the Champasak cultural landscape site, there are some other major sites like Wat Phou Temple complex, ancient city. There are two ancient cities, Sretapura and Lingkapura. And Nangsida Temple, the other Hindu temple, Tao Tao Temple, Tomo Temple on the other side of the Mekong River bank. And we have also the Royal Road, the ancient road linked Wat Phou to Angkor Wat. And of course, we have Lingkha Pravata, the natural Lingkha of the Hinduism. And Wat Phou Temple complex has been inscribed in the list of UNESCO World Heritage in 2001 because it bears the significance of this criteria, three criteria. The third criteria, temple complex of Wat Phou bear exceptional testimony of the culture of Southeast Asia, and it particular to the Khmer Empire, which dominate the region since in the 10th to 14th century. Criteria number 4, Wat Phou Temple complex is outstanding example of the integration of symbolic landscape of great spiritual significance to its natural surrounding. And number 6, contrive to express the Hindu version of relationship between nature and humanity Vat Phou exhibit a remarkable complex of monument and other structure over extensive area between river and mountain. Some of outstanding architecture, many containing great work of art, and on expressing intent, religious conviction and commitment. And I would like to present some Hindu artwork in Wat Phou Temple Complex. As I mentioned earlier, nowadays Hinduism, Hindu influence could be seen in architectural field and fine art. And almost building temples are decorated by fine and elaborate bas relief or sculpture depicting Hindu god or mythology. The richness of illustration appear in the surface of the monument structure. It depends on how important of the building. The statue of Hindu god and goddess are always installed inside certain chamber. And here you see that the Trimurti is around 12th century by sandstone, and it is personify the cosmic function of creation, preservation, and destruction in the god Brahma, the creator, on the left, Vishnu, the preserver, on the right hand side, and Shiva, the destroyer or transformer, in the center. And above, you can see Vishnu riding Garuda. You find it in the main sanctuary. And on the right hand side is lintel of Krishna killing Kamsa, or I'm not sure about this, probably can be Bhima slaying Jarasandha. Probably later on, Dr. Corey Christman from Singapore National University can provide some more detailed information about this. The lintel depicting Indra on Iravata, and below one, Krishna defeating Kaliya. And we have also the bas relief showing the god Shiva and Parvati. You can find it on the Northern Palace, on one of the pediment of Northern Palace. Now, I would like to talk about living Hindu tradition in Laos. Here in Wat Phou, we have a Wat Phou festival. This festival taking place during the full moon day in the month of Magha, the third month of lunar calendar. And today, the Magha Puja festival celebrated at Wat Phou is the second most important event in Lao PDR after the That Luang Festival in Vientiane. Worshippers travel great distance from everywhere to attend festival, and the purpose is to have opportunity to meet each other and to make better know for one another. The festival taking place over 3 or 5 days with procession and traditional competition event, and this taking place during the daytime. and some musical event and performance in the evening time. The last day of the festival particularly important, as this included is the takbat, offering alms to the Buddhist monk, and the night time candlelight is a procession. In the Vat Phou festival, the worshipper making offering to the deity represented by statue of Vat Phou. Incense and flower are placed in front of the statue, and prayer for good luck, healthy, and happiness and prosperity. And we have also holy water in Vat Phou. The water that's descending from the top of Lingkha Parvata or Phukao mountain, and therefore from the Lingkha Parvata is considered sacred water, and it supplies the spring at the bottom of the mountain behind the main sanctuary. Archaeological excavation carried out between 1991 and 1995 helped to clarify the understanding of the hidden spring that flow through the rock at the foot of the cliff, confirming the sacred character of the water. And nowadays, people collect and bath under the sacred water, believing that it can purify themselves body and mind. The water can also be used for drinking and for therapeutic purpose, or to obtain special favor through prayer. Since the pre-Korean period and up until present time, water from the mountain Phukao and the Lingkha Parvata has been considered sacred, and people collect it for immediate use or take it home for family, especially during the pilgrimage to Vat Phou. We also have a folk tale that we call Khadthaname. Khadthaname is a folk tale relative to Ramayana and exactly linked to the Champasak cultural landscape. The prince of Champasak kingdom, the princess of Champasak kingdom, so-called Nang Sita or Sita in Ramayana, want to help the king and Champasak population from trouble caused by yaksa, who come to eat the single human every day at the sacrifice place named Hong Nang Sita. So Khadthaname is the hero who come to rescue Nang Sita and kill yaksa by cut off the neck of the giant, and then take the king of Champasak, give him great prize by giving the throne and allow his daughter or Champasak princess to marry him. So this folk tale is very involved to Hinduism, to the Vat Phou side, I mean. And we have also Apsara dance. This dance has inspiration by the sculpture decorating in the Vat Phou temple. And we also have the Palak Param, but the performance activities can be seen in still functioning in Luang Prabang. And the shadow puppet can be seen in Champasak. It's talking about Parak Palam, and accompany to this performance, we have also the Lao traditional music band that something similar to the Indian one. And then we also have the Brahmin, but here in Laos we have a Basi ceremony. The Basi ceremony is for many occasions. For instance, for the welcoming of newborn baby, welcoming of important guests, or delegation, or wedding ceremony. And the reason is to give one blessing for good happiness, good opportunity, good luck, Venti, and prosperity. And the blessing is given by old man, so-called Morpon, or something similar to Brahmin. I would say this thing is influence of Hinduism. And also we have in Laos the Lucy or Yoki is always referred in many folk tales as a master or teacher who teach the doctrine and Veda, or even the art of fighting. But this kind of Lucy and Brahmin can be seen only in some occasion during some event, for example, the Rocket Festival, in the folk tales. And on the folk tale that I mentioned before, we do a recordation of oral folk tale from local inhabitants to be preserved for young generation. And my conclusion, in present day, Hinduism, Hindu religious, doesn't exist in Laos anymore, but the Hindu influence could still be seen in general, such as in architectural field, fine art, and as well as living art. Thank you very much.